to run the project. The group wants Nigeria to take ownership of all projects as it offers technical assistance in all needed areas.
During this cycle, all the states of Nigeria are part of the process. Now, those states that will have shown more commitment are ready with their counterpart funding and also engage their community in the setting and the implementation of the program will get priorities.
The minister inaugurated the steering committee and assured the United Nations that the federal government will restore the UN house bombed by terrorists 3 years ago. In Abuja, Leah Katung-Babatunde, NTA News.
And one intervention in the education sector that Nigerians will not forget in a hurry is the integration of the Almajiri system into basic education. So far, the federal government has disbursed 125 billion naira for the construction of 150 Almajiri schools across the country. Franca Uzoma Olua has the details.
They form the bulk of the 10.5 million out-of-school children in Nigeria. Roaming the streets, begging for alms without a future was the lifestyle of the Almajiris. To change the ugly picture, the federal government integrated the Almajiri system into Western education while not robbing them of Islamic education.
Even if you have nothing to praise my president, please praise him for moving Almajiri away from the streets, which is our social problem, and the problem that you may not know the catastrophic of it until in the future when it happens.
Executive Secretary, Universal Basic Education Commission, Diko Suleiman, was on inspection visit to some of the Almajiri projects in Katsina State.
The person who does not share religious faith with you, the person who does not share geographical location with you, but yet he cares about your children. Please tell me, if someone should come to you here and tell you that this man is your enemy, will you believe him?
The Executive Secretary also paid homage to the Emir of Daura, Dr. Umar Farouk Umar, who promised to support the federal government's drive to map up the Almajiris from the streets. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Mr. Mike Omeri, has urged all Nigerians to unite in the fight against insurgency for peaceful growth and development of the country. Omeri made this call when he received President of the Market Women Association of Nigeria, Mrs. Felicia Sani, and the leadership of market associations from across the country in his office in Abuja. The Director General said the cardinal mandate of the agency was to mobilize support for the security forces, especially the armed forces, in the campaign against insurgency in the country. According to him, the agency was encouraged by the new outpour and show of solidarity by Nigerians for the soldiers involved in the military effort to end insurgency and instability in some parts of the country.
To preserve our unity, to accept ourselves as citizens of this one great country. It doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter to you what language I speak. When men of Nigeria are fighting out there to protect, men and women are fighting to protect Nigeria, we should support them, we should encourage them, we should stand by them. The government is desirous of changing the lives of citizens for the better.
Mrs. Felicia Sani commended the NOA DG for creating a good image for the country since his assumption of office, especially the prompt sensitization of the association on the outbreak of the Ebola virus disease in the country. She noted that the association was in solidarity with Nigerian soldiers in the fight against terrorism, stressing that there is peace in the country now, stressing that if there is peace in the country, there will be development and growth in the economy. And to other matters, contractors handling various projects in the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs who have shown genuine commitment are to receive further payments, while those whose projects have been stalled are to face the wrath of the federal government. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Steve Oru, stated this while inspecting 9 project sites in Abia, Imo, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom states. Mie Ogidi completes the report.
Ilele Skills Acquisition Center in Rivers State, awarded in 2010, was the first project inspected by the minister, but unfortunately it was not a good starting point as the project is completely stalled. The minister reacted.
The ministry was stretched thin, working on 9 skill acquisition centers at the same time. Right now, out of the 9, none was functioning, and this one I don't see. I think it's hopeless.
At the Gbema Skills Acquisition Center in Imo State, the project is nearing completion, but the minister observed some structural defects which he ordered the contractor to correct them before commissioning. At the Umuago 40 housing units project in Imo State is ready for commissioning. Work has also reached advanced stage at the 30-kilometer MBC Ring Road project with standard drainage system, while the 35-kilometer Owerri-Elele Road dualization will be ready for commissioning next year with the intervention of the SOP office. The minister rounded off the inspection at the 50-kilometer Obeya-Azumini Road project connecting Abia and Akwa Ibom State. The project is also to be completed next year through the intervention of the SOP fund.
Able to assess a reasonable sum of money that will keep this project alive and bring it back to life again.
The skill acquisition centers are to train youths in the Niger Delta region, especially in the areas of commerce and industry, oil and gas, as well as marine and dredging. And the roads are to enable the rural farmers to take their agricultural produce to the markets in the city. In Port Harcourt, Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
To energy matters now, adoption of the draft National Policy on Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Policy, apart from setting development direction, will also woo more foreign investors into the country. This came to the fore at a 2-day national stakeholders workshop on the draft National Policy on Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, organized by the Federal Ministry of Power in Abuja. Adina Justice completes the report.
Using local resources like solar, wind, water, biomass, and others to generate electricity have long-term economic benefits that need a single document or policy that will regulate the sector. The workshop, therefore, is to bring stakeholders together to brainstorm on this all-important draft national policy on renewable energy and energy efficiency. Professor Chidi Onya, who represented the Minister of Power while declaring open the workshop, said the policy, if adopted, will expand access for investors and hasten development.
The process allows investors to be able to come in and feel the comfort to invest in renewable energy. And that is very important. Nobody is going to invest if they are not sure of the policy backbone for them to be able to come in for cost recovery.
Energy access is very, very important so that half of our people that don't have any access right now have access.
Abayami Adebisi in his paper noted that it was high time Nigeria got a national policy on renewable energy and energy efficiency.
So without policy for several years on renewable energy, we have lost out on investment on renewable energy. But with this draft now, if finally approved, even right now, investors are beginning to come because they have something they can hold on to.
The workshop is expected to focus on the draft thematic areas like power generation, distribution, regulations, tariffs, and incentives. Edina Justice, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Environment has flagged off the distribution of clean cook stoves to cover 500 women in Kauranamuda local government area of Zamfara State. This is in a bid to reduce the rate of felling of trees for firewood. Zamfara State government at the occasion appealed to the federal government to support states affected by desert encroachment with further initiatives aimed at enhancing environmental sustainability. Anans Sani Anka reports.
Apart from the negative effect of desert encroachment, especially in some selected states of northern Nigeria, research indicates that smoke is the third killer disease after HIV, AIDS, and malaria, and women are majorly the victim of this phenomena because of their involvement in cooking and other food processing. In order to reverse this ugly development, Federal Ministry of Environment, in collaboration with Rural Women Energy Security (RUES), flag off the distribution of cooking stoves that are energy solution and make cooking safer for Nigeria's household.
We have environmental laws that are actually supposed to discourage tree felling.
This clean cook stove, they call it Save 80. Save 80 means you save 80% of the health hazards.
Rural Women Energy Security Initiative was brought into Nigeria to reduce energy poverty.
End of the occasion, the host chairman was presented with a Clean Ambassador of Energy Award. Ngusau Anasani Anka, NTA News.
And all is now set for the kickoff of the National Vehicular Emission Control Program, in line with the federal government's effort at controlling various environmental challenges. Uche Nwizo reports that the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA, met with the stakeholders in Abuja to dialogue on the effective implementation of the program.
In fulfillment of the 2011 National Environmental Control of Vehicular Emission from Petrol and Diesel Engines Regulation, NESRA has received the requisite equipment for the implementation of the National Vehicular Emission Test. The meeting, therefore, is aimed at identifying the roles of the regulatory agencies such as the Federal Road Safety Commission, National Automotive Council, Standards Organization of Nigeria, among others, in compliance, monitoring and enforcement of the program.
We have discussed openly, and then now everything is on ground. We just need to move on now. So before we get onto the roads, what are the issues? Because they too would have thought over it.
Once the system has been put in place and the accreditation of the dealers who are going to actually test these vehicles are done and the equipments are installed, the next thing will be to enforce compliance.
Customs as a primary border control agency is always very much ready to partner with agencies like NESRIA to ensure the successful implementation of such policies as a vehicular emission control program.
Stakeholders believe that the successful implementation of this program will greatly improve air quality and make the Nigerian environment healthy. The Vehicular Emission Control Program will begin in Abuja and extended to all states of the Federation. Uche Nwizo, NTA News.
This is NTA News Nationwide, and Lagos is where we go first today with the story on Nigeria and India relations, as well as others. Jennifer is our guide. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Hawa. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. The Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria says plans are on to strengthen existing bilateral relations between Nigeria and India. He disclosed this at the maiden edition of the Diplomatic Dialogue Series organized by the Nigerian Leadership Initiative in Lagos. The report.
Nigerian and Indian relations date back to 1958, when both countries established a diplomatic mission. India considers Nigeria as an important growth outpost for cultivation.
The health tourism industry between Nigeria and India is very vibrant. Agriculture is vibrant. IT, the number of Nigerian IT companies that have links with Indian IT is amazing.
Indian envoy to Nigeria enumerated the prospect both countries stand to benefit. He said as trade partners with a considerable revenue from oil exports and many other areas of business relations, both governments are working on developing three important sectors of the Nigerian economy.
Power, industry, and education. In specific terms, it is IT and health.
The initiative is expected to impact both the public and private sectors as well as the small and medium businesses in the country.
There's a lot of business which goes on between India's small and medium businesses and your businesses, which don't appear in statistics of the two countries. At the same time, there is enormous scope because these industries are not doing exports.
There are still a lot that is to be desired in terms of relationship between the two countries.
The forum provided a platform for identifying issues of common economic and commercial interest with a view to strengthening bilateral relations of both countries and the global business community.
Lagos residents have commended the improved power situation in most parts of the state, describing it as a welcome development. Olajide Bello went to town to fill the pulse of some residents on the positive development.
Over the years, the present administration has demonstrated commitment at repositioning the power sector. The government introduced a master plan at tackling the various barriers to investment in that sector. The unbinding of the sector attracted private investors who have continued to invest in critical areas. That effort is yielding positive results as Nigerians in most parts of the country are enjoying longer hours of steady power supply.
It has absolutely improved.
When I first came to mainland, we used to have light only at night from 1 to 4. But now they give us let's say 12 hours a day.
These days we have at least daily basis.
Security. They've been rationing it.
For these few days, they are trying.
Our investigations revealed that owners of small businesses like barbing salon, tailors, welders enjoy good patronage from customers.
And at the end of the day, by using fuel and oil, I will not gain more. But for the past few days now, like a few weeks now, I think things are becoming improved. The improvement is there.
While lauding the efforts of the federal and state government as well as relevant stakeholders in the power sector, the residents called for sustainability, saying it will go a long way at boosting economic activities in Lagos State. In Lagos, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
In line with its transformation agenda on agriculture, the federal government has emphasized the need for value addition on agricultural products through the establishment of cottage processing mill for rural farmers. The instance was at the commissioning of cottage oil palm processing mill at Awo near Ede, Osun State. Correspondent Abolade Salami has the details.
The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Mrs. Ibukun Odushote, represented by a director in the ministry, said the oil palm mill was part of federal government's efforts to boost agricultural produce along value chain from production to processing. He noted that farmers suffer many product losses en route to processing facility and outright absence of adequate processing method. He added that the oil palm mill will avert loss of produce, prolong produce shelf life, as well as increase the farmer's income.
I want to enjoin the beneficiary of these projects to manage them very well so as to assist government to realize the objective of reducing, eliminating the waste of agricultural produce, providing quality and affordable food to address food security.
In a remark, the Special Advisor to Governor Aregbesola on Agriculture and Food Security, Festus Agumbiade, commended the giant stride of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in making life more bearable for rural farmers.
I want to partner with the federal government on issue that concerns farmers because our interest in the state of Osun is agric.
The mill is expected to serve the people of the community and its environs in palm oil processing. From Awo, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
And that report ends our contribution from Lagos. Hawa, it's back to you for more on Nationwide News.
Many thanks, Jennifer. And keeping with his promise to reconcile all aggrieved party members, the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Adamu Muazu, has inaugurated the National Reconciliation Committee with a charge to bring back all party members who had left. Those inaugurated are serving and former governors and chieftains of the party. Samaila Abdullahi completes the report.
With the general elections a few months from now, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is re-strategizing and repositioning the party for the task ahead. The PDP national chairman stated that the inauguration of the National Reconciliation Committee is one of such strategies.
I therefore want to plead on you to please sacrifice on behalf of the working committee, the members of the teaming members of our party, the PDP, to work. You'll be able to complete and bring us the report in 3 weeks.
Some committee members spoke on the task ahead.
We will need the full backing of the leadership of the party.
To try to get members to begin to those who are disgruntled to come back and work for the party, because
this committee is easy because it's merely going to be a consolidation of what we have been doing for the last 2 years.
The committee has 3 weeks to submit its report to the National Secretariat in Abuja. Samail Abdullahi, NTA News.
And still on politics, ahead of Saturday's North Central Zonal Mega Rally for President Goodluck Jonathan's 2015 presidential bid, Nasarawa State PDP stakeholders rose from an emergency meeting with a resolve to stump the rally, with Secretary of the PDP Board of Trustees leading the fold. Correspondent Anthony Forsen reports.
They arrived at the venue in their numbers, and in no time, the hall was filled to capacity, with speaker after speaker reading out the need for all sons and daughters of Nasarawa State to support the rally and push for President Goodluck Jonathan's candidacy come 2015. They hinged their argument on the Goodluck Jonathan-led administration's development strides in Nasarawa State and the transformation agenda for the country.
Jonathan has done a lot for this country that will warrant us to vote him back. It is a good thing that the Northerners should now come to assist every other person to support him also to rule, so that we will all together in North Central Zone will support.
Because I know that the Northwest has always gotten support from the South-South. During Tafa Balewa, the people of the South-South voted for the Northwest to become the president of Nigeria. During the Second Republic, the people of the South-South voted for President Shagari, who is from. Once a president is a sitting president, there is no primary for him. If PDP today were to say they don't want Goodluck to be their candidate, what they are telling Nigerians is that their party has failed.
The North Central Zonal edition of the rally will be the fourth in the series of rallies by the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, which will culminate in Abuja with a mega rally. Anthony Forsen, NTA News.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Islamic Affairs, Tahir Umar Tahir, has called on youth to imbibe the teachings of their faith in order to avoid being overwhelmed by radical views. He stated this when he led an Egyptian international organization, Darul Iftar, on a courtesy visit to Kaduna State. Aliu Kabir completes the report.
The visit was part of the 4-day interfaith activities embarked by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Islamic Affairs and the Egyptian Embassy in Nigeria as part of effort to strengthen bilateral relations between the two countries, especially in the fields of education and youth empowerment.
As part of the transformation agenda of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, roll out a lot of programs to counter insurgency, to counter terrorism. I gave my office the mandate to extend hands of collaboration with other international organizations so as to facilitate the importance of the war against radicalization.
During the visit, emphasis on the need for youth in Africa to have basic knowledge and understanding of both Islam and Christianity was stressed by the governor of Kaduna State.
It is our hope and prayer that we use the knowledge that we have to live peacefully with one another, not to use the knowledge in order to continue to be on a divided line.
So what we need to do is more to teach tolerance, to make tolerance our main theme of life.
The two countries reaffirmed commitment to strengthen their bilateral relations in the field of agriculture, trade and other essential services. Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
And Igbo traders all over Nigeria have been encouraged to shut down their businesses for one day to ensure they participate in the ongoing voter registration exercise. A socio-cultural group under the umbrella of the Goodluck Ganiru 2015 made the call, saying this will make them eligible to vote for President Jonathan for another victory come 2015. Nancy Godi Aninir completes the report.
Comprising Ndibo in Nigeria and the diaspora, the Goodluck Ganiru 2015 at its maiden National Executive Council meeting in Abuja drew a 16-point communique which, among others, commended President Goodluck Jonathan for maintaining the unity of Nigeria despite ceaseless distractions. Worthy of appreciation, the group noted, are the 220 billion naira disbursement for micro, small and medium enterprises, the groundbreaking of the second Niger Bridge, completion of an international airport in the southeast, and the Onitsha seaport. The group asked for maximum security ahead of 2015 elections.
Federal government to devote sufficient resources in uplifting and building technology infrastructure needed to jumpstart industrial development in Abia State.
If he has not done well, we're going to gather.
And it takes good luck, Jonathan, to revive the, almost comatose agriculture sector in Nigeria.
Equally attracting the support of this group are the rare qualities of First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan.
We are thanking the First Lady for giving us the 30%. The way she's taking women along in all what she's doing and caring for people like her own children.
For this group called Good Luck Ganiru, meaning forward ever, President Jonathan should not stop, but rather continue in office in his bid to put Nigeria on the right path. Nancy Godiangunihu, NTA News.
Time now to join our Makudi Network studios for stories making the headlines in that axis. Good to see you, Marianne. It's another Friday.
Thank you for joining us, Hawa. Welcome to Makudi. Prospective Muslim pilgrims have been advised to shun all activities that are capable of tarnishing the image of the nation, but to pray for peace, unity, and development of the country. The Deputy Governor of Benue State, Chief Stephen Lawani, gave the advice when the Amirul Hajj, Benue State, Abubakar Tsav, led the pilgrims contingent to Government House for the preparatory briefing. Correspondent Charles Abba has details.
Governor Chief Stephen Lawani, in his farewell message to the intending Muslim pilgrims from the state, urged them to use the opportunity to conduct themselves as good ambassadors of Nigeria.
The government has continued to encourage a harmonious and peaceful coexistence of all religions in the state. It is therefore expected that this same gesture will be demonstrated by all the adherents of all religious groups in the state.
The Amirul Hajj Abubakar Tsav, who expressed appreciation to the state government for the annual sponsorship of the pilgrimage, said the contingent from Benue State are among the early pilgrims who are to perform the Hajj in Medina, Saudi Arabia for the first time. He also assured the state government of enviable representation of the nation in the Holy Land. Over 480 Muslim pilgrims from Benue State will be performing the 2014 Hajj in Saudi Arabia. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service says it is poised to secure the nation's borders against influx of illegal immigrants and insurgents into the country. Controller General of the service, David Paradang, said this during a visit to Lafia, Nasarawa State. Correspondent Joshua Ojito has the details.
While in Lafia, the Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, David Paradan, met with Nasarawa State Governor Umaru Tanko Al-Makura, where he told the governor that as part of measures to consolidate gains recorded by the service, it redeployed more officers on a 24-hour surveillance and patrol around border communities to contain movement of insurgents into the country. He solicited the support of traditional rulers and other community leaders to track illegal immigrants in their domains by reporting persons of questionable characters to relevant security agencies. Governor Al-Makura assured the Nigerian Immigration Service of the state government's commitment to partner with it so as to rid the state of all illegal immigrants.
We will commit local government chairmen to be available at all times with all necessary information regarding new faces in town.
If people are mercenaries and they are non-Nigerians, we remove them. If they are even Nigerians, we report them to other security agencies. Together we work to make sure that we give peace to our land.
Meanwhile, the Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service inspected the proposed site for the construction of the Command's Office complex in Lafia, which is expected to be built in 12 months. In Lafia, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
No, use your own script.
House-to-House Campaign Organization for Democracy has solicited the support of Benue people for the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2015 presidential election. National women leader of the group, Chief Fumi Uzo Naji, solicited the support in Makudi while on sensitization visits to Benue women. Correspondent John Yaku has details.
The national woman leader of House-to-House Campaign Organization for Democracy, Chief Fumi Uzo Naji, who led other zonal women leaders of the group, told Benue women that they were in the state to solicit their support towards the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan to continue with the good work he has done. She enumerated some of the good work done to include agricultural transformation, power sector reforms, establishment of more universities in the country, and the recognition of women appointments in political offices. Chief Fumi Uzo Naji said, given his good disposition to women, the group will press for the establishment of a microfinance bank to empower women if President Jonathan is re-elected in 2015.
We establish these microfinance banks run by House-to-House Campaign Group. Under my leadership, we give them these loans, they work and return it back without interest.
Other zonal women leaders of the House-to-House Campaign Organization said their target is to reach out to the women at the grassroots to join the group through membership registration. Benue State Coordinator Ima Anobi and the woman leader of the organization, Esther Enne Ochotukpo, promised to take the message to the grassroots. The women in various cultural songs chanted their support for President Jonathan. The group has moved to Kogi in continuation of its sensitization tour of the country. In Makudi, John Yaku, NTA News.
And that's it from Makudi. We thank you for watching. It's back to Hawa.
Thanks, Marianne. And this is NTA News Nationwide. We continue shortly after these messages.
Yewa! It's going to be wonderful, exciting as TAN National Rally hits the North Central Zone. Gratitude is the best gift to our friend indeed. Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, TAN, is therefore inviting all women and citizens of Niger, Benue, Kwara, Kogi Plateau, Nasarawa, and Federal Capital Territory to the North Central Zonal Rally on Saturday, 13 September 2014 at the Trade Fair Complex, Pico Road, Mina, Niger State. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Wonderful people of the North Central States, let us all converge at the Trade Fair Complex, Pico Road, Mina on 13 September 2014 to express our gratitude to our able President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for his wonderful transformation activities in Nigeria, especially the North Central States. Yes, to honor our king is to pave your way to the throne. The Southeast did it, the Southwest did it, and the South has also done it. It's now our turn to do it. We will do it in the most amazing style, the North Central style. And to subscribe to Nigerians' demand, TAN North Central Zonal Rally 2014, the grandfather of all rallies. Saturday, 13 September 2014 at Trade Fair Complex, Pico Road, Mina, Niger State. You can't afford to miss the action.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, TAN, for One Vision, Nigeria.
Come to Sharon Ultimate Hotels, Abuja, the ultimate place to be.
You don't do. I don't tire for all the things we dey yarn.
You dey yarn okpata. Shey you think say na only you fit buga? I go show you.
You dey show yourself all these years. I just dey look you. This time you go know the kind person we are.
I been dey watch as you dey try scatter my future.
The future wey I dey try organize for myself, small. Na him you dey try kill, abi?
Na to kill, scatter, and destroy my parole is always the agenda, abi? Oh, but you know, Fito, not this time.
I don't set my own agenda.
I know how way your agenda go fit pass my agenda.
Because my agenda strong past your agenda.
For this election, the agenda now.
It's our future.
No violence.
Just vote.
Set the agenda for this election. No violence, just vote.
Bragging is not President Goodluck Jonathan's style, so you'd hardly hear him brag about all the great things he is doing for Nigeria. He wouldn't tell you he's the first president to privatize power, to give us a constant supply of electricity and economic prosperity. Soon your electricity will be like your mobile phones, 24 hours, 7 days a week. He won't brag about security, new roads, new rail, or new airports, eliminating corruption in agriculture and saving $25 billion per year, mass housing projects, or that our economy is growing at the fastest rate in the world. He wouldn't brag about any of it because he knows there's a lot more to be done. Mr. President, right on. We that are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Yewa! It's going to be wonderful, exciting as TAN National Rally hits the North Central Zone. Gratitude is the best gift to our friend indeed. Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria TAN is therefore inviting all well-meaning citizens of Niger, Benue, Kwara, Kogi Plateau, Nasarawa and Federal Capital Territory to the North Central Zonal Rally on Saturday 13 September 2014 at the Trade Fair Complex, Pico Road, Mina, Niger State. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Wonderful people of the North Central States, let us all converge at the Trade Fair Complex, Pico Road, Mina on 13 September 2014 to express our gratitude to our able President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for his wonderful transformation activities in Nigeria, especially the North Central States. Yes, to honor our king is to pave your way to the throne. The Southeast did it, the Southwest did it, and the South has also done it. It's now our turn to do it. We will do it in the most amazing style, the North Central style. And to subscribe to Nigerians' demand, TAN North Central Zonal Rally 2014, the grandfather of all rallies. Saturday, 13 September 2014 at Trade Fair Complex, Pico Road, Mina, Niger State. You can't afford to miss the action.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. TAN for One Vision, Nigeria.
6 years ago, JAMB for the first time released UTME results after 6 days of examinations. The feat was regarded as genius. But with the introduction of the computer-based test, today it takes just 2 hours to release results after JAMB examinations. Times have changed.
Everybody should be ready to do computer-based tests next year. We should embrace it. Our parents should encourage them. Say good things about CBT. Let's get set. Let's join the world. It's a global practice. Let's key ourselves into it.
CBT centers are available across all the states of the Federation. CBT, take it, embrace it, move with the time.
Thanks for rejoining us. Now to health matters. In furtherance of federal government's efforts towards strengthening the health sector, the Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, has inaugurated the governing board of the Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy with a charge on the board to strengthen the resource base of the college. Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju has the details.
The Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy, since its former inception in 1978, has been prominent in dental education, research, patient care, and community outreach. While inaugurating the 10-member governing board for the college, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu charged them to ensure improved quality of service and training of students.
Your job is to provide oversight to ensure efficiency in resource deployment, ensure efficient utilization of those resources. You would ensure the observance of extant laws and regulations. You would ensure accountability of funds and performance.
I wish to assure you that we will do our utmost best to justify the confidence imposed on us.
The college has so far produced thousands of dental technologists and therapists practicing within and outside Nigeria.
Plateau State distributes hospital equipment to some local government areas as NBC holds public enlightenment campaign on digital switchover in Jos. Caleb tells us more. It's over to you.
Thank you, Hawa, and welcome to Jos. In line with President Goodluck Jonathan's transformation agenda, Plateau State Millennium Development Goals has distributed hospital equipment and drugs and commissioned classrooms in some local government areas of the state. The MDG's State Project Coordinator, Mr. Peter Nyam Gai, said as part of its deliberate policy, the intervention is aimed at touching lives of the rural populace. Correspondent Kim Gotts completes the report.
The hospital equipment delivered in Bokos and Kanam local government areas include delivery kits, scales, blankets, mattresses, beds, refrigerators, generators, reagents, assorted drugs for different ailments, and exercise books. MDG State Project Coordinator, Mr. Peter Nyamgai, said the equipment and materials will be distributed to primary health care centers and schools across the local government areas. He said the success of the program was possible due to the support of President Goodluck Jonathan and Governor Jonah David Chan.
To the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, for supporting the MDGs and pushing hard for its existence beyond 2015. Speaker,
Plateau State House of Assembly, Titus Alams, Chairman of Bokos and Kanam local government councils, Mr. Monde Kasa and Alhaji Ado Damboyi, commended the MDGs and said the intervention is apt with the current health challenges.
Your distribution of the hospital equipment and drugs is coming at the right time when all of us in this country know what is before us.
For the drugs and hospital equipment, these are lacking. With their supply, yes, it's going to bring support to us.
While in Bassa local government, the MDGs also commissioned primary health care center in addition to free medical outreach with the assistance of Nigerian Medical Association Plateau State branch in Buyu community. Some of the beneficiaries expressed their gratitude to the MDGs. The funds utilized in execution of the projects were realized from the federal, state and local governments of the state. In Jos, Kim Gotts, NTA News.
8 companies have been licensed by the federal government to import set-top boxes into the country, preparatory to the switchover from analog to digital broadcast. Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Emeka Mba, disclosed this in a message to the public enlightenment campaign on the digital switchover in Jos. Eric Durungs tells us more.
As a global movement spearheaded by the International Telecommunication Union, Nigeria cannot afford to be left behind. Thus, efforts are being intensified preparatory to the switchover date of June 2015. The public enlightenment, therefore, is expected to go around the 3 senatorial zones of the state to sensitize people at the grassroots about the digital switchover, since Jos is the pilot city to kickstart the process in the country. Representative of the NBC helmsman, Malam Awalu Salihu, Plateau State Commissioner for Information, Mrs. Olivia Daziam noted that the switchover will expand the capacity of the broadcasting system, allow for efficient use of the spectrum, and improve broadband services, among many other advantages.
I will be honest with you, public awareness has not been to the level that we would have wanted it. But that is mostly because of the paucity of funds.
Plateau State is going to be ready earlier than scheduled. The minister, Mr. Labaran Maku, had given us October. I believe that we will meet up with that deadline.
Local government chairmen, the Nigerian Union of Journalists, and other key stakeholders promised different interest groups within their spheres of influence to ensure that the people are adequately informed about the switch over to digital broadcasting. In Jos, Eric Dooms, NTA News.
We rejoin Abuja for more on Nationwide. Thank you.
Many thanks, Caleb. About 50,000 housing units are expected to be delivered to the Nigerian government under the agreement for the concessioning of the reclamation and infrastructural development of Festac Phase 2, Lagos. This came to light when the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Mrs. Akon Etin Eyakenyi, signed the agreement with the Festac concession in Abuja. Phoebe Kabruk completes the report.
The Nigerian government acquired 2,024 hectares of land in Lagos to build and accommodate participants to the Second World Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture, Festac, in 1977 under the Phase 1 arrangement. The project was executed leaving a balance of 1,126 hectares, which is what the Federal Housing Authority is taking advantage of the private-public partnership to embark on the project on their concession in line with the government policy on housing.
Government earnings from the project is estimated at 25.7 billion as premium for about 30 years of concession and an additional 150 million ground rent annually. The parties have agreed to a review clause of the earnings to reflect market situation.
Chairman of the concessioning company, Isaac Chooks, said the project holds a lot of developmental dividends for the country and assured that they will deliver on the expectations of the federal government housing policy and the public. When completed, the project is expected to generate over 3,000 jobs every year for Nigerians. Phoebe Kabruk, NTA News.
And the blind quest for wealth acquisition by all means has diverted people's attention from performing their duties to humanity and to their creator. These are some identified factors responsible for the country's current situation. This was the focus of today's Friday sermon at the Apo Legislative Quarters Juma Mosque in Abuja. Aliu Tukur takes it from here.
To overcome this challenge, Imam Abdullahi Adams said Nigerians must remember that they will stand before their Creator to give account of how they acquire and spend their wealth. The Imam therefore called on people to always consider God's commandment in their daily affairs, especially when it comes to business transactions and performing their duties as citizens.
Don't take the money in public or government accounts or any business between you and anybody.
The Imam also called on intending Muslim pilgrims to ensure that they seek for knowledge of performing Hajj and its effective application. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Israel has indicated interest to partner Nigeria in several ways in developing domestic tourism. This was at a meeting with the Director General Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, Sali Mbanefo, and the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Uriel Palti, in Abuja. Oinaya Kalu Oka completes the report.
Israel is known for religious tourism, with thousands of pilgrims yearly visiting the country despite the conflicts going on there. The Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, Uriel Polti, who commended President Goodluck Jonathan for strengthening the relations between both countries, noted that Nigeria is blessed with numerous tourism potentials. The ambassador stated that the country has the potential of being one of Africa's tourism destinations, despite the conflict in some parts.
I fell in love with your country. Your country is really a great country. I've already extended invitation to Madame to come to see and to tell the Israeli entrepreneurs why she invites them to Nigeria, why she wants Israeli investors to come to invest in Nigeria.
The Director General NTDC Saleh Mbanefo said tourism in Nigeria has contributed 4.0% to the gross domestic products, compared to other African countries like Kenya and South Africa contributing 12% and 8.9%. She promised to continue championing the development of domestic tourism.
So in spite of their experience and the challenge of terrorism, which began almost 70 years ago, they have a success story, they have a best practice that we can emulate.
Both countries have concluded plans to sign a memorandum of understanding very soon. In Abuja, Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
And on the foreign scene, World Health Organization demands more health workers to fight the deadly Ebola virus disease, and Russia wants justice for victims of Malaysian airline flight M17. These and more on Global Tidbits with Talatu Eziwike.
The World Health Organization is calling for more support to curb the spread of the Ebola virus.